아킬라
그래서
고츠는 디고도 하.
고전화 되겠다.
야야.
그래서
다 단단 간소 틴들라 틴질라 차피야. 동샤던 데이터네 차피야 드린도와. 디송자 당간소 동샤던 데이터네 차피야 데 제름버치 미세 베 시부지 사장 투슨 제르와. 다 미세 간소 베 산지지 콤파토와라 틴치 초사 가지 디바 장서와 데니 케쳔보 차고요레 다데 난지 슈바 난시로와 다들이 간서 동샤단 데고네 간서 디디 장야 다응we서 간다 디디 장야 파시오데 장라 세노랍 쳔보 사노고레 다 세놈 사야다 디디 장야니 간다 니가 냠도 누구여로와 어 디디 손자 다 동샤단 데토네 간서 디스로와 차피야데
so these sessions is we're going to do prostrations. Can you hear me, right? Yeah. So we are going to do prostrations and conjoining with the 35 confession Buddhas practice. So Jerumuchi is the role model in accumulating extensive merits and in great purifications of obscurations as well. So in order to achieve the state of enlightenment, to achieve the Buddhahood, it is very important to accumulate merits and it is very important to purify our obscurations as well. So doing prostrations, directly or explicitly is to purify our obscurations. However, implicitly, we also accumulate extensive merit. Indirectly, we also accumulate extensive merit.
어디 순서 지난 가서 다 동시하고 비행시거나 다 마음부 쉬고와 지난 가서 다디 쉬라 간다 동시아 코랑 배 진짜 지초네 땡가서 티야마다 단다 가서 뒤질라 기차기 요 말에 이나 다 가서 지단들이 동시아던데 돈에 가서 사장 지야들와 사장 지야들 배 가서 들이 쳐봤죠가 배 디신 송조들 배 하장게 깨와 상보 쉬우지리
So doing regarding this the practice of 35 confession Buddhas, then it brings great benefits. It has many many different types of benefits as well. So however, in order to go through the benefits of doing 35 confession Buddhas, then it would take a whole class. So it would take 1 to 2 hours. So I will not go in depth about the benefits here. So on this 15th day of Saka Dawa, so we should consider ourselves very fortunate to have the opportunity to accumulate extensive merits and to and greatly purify our obscurations.
디디지 가르치야스나 동샤데 간소 디파타라페 덴디 샤던지야라 베 니바 침보 페 침보 송자 다 동샤데라 간소 님보 도식 토네 간소 샤던지야데 동샤 나로 베단 님보 도식 간소 치사마 정고여로와 데 창산 상디고레 니 송자 다 간소 님보 도시데 상원탄다 추지지 티야니와
님보 도시라이라
님보 도시데
Yeah, so I will, in brief, the 35 confession Buddha practice is very powerful in purifying our negativities. So when we go through the 35 confession Buddha's practice, in which already involves the four opponent powers. So it involves the words or involves four opponent powers in it already. So I will go through in brief how to think about with regard to four opponent powers.
어딘지 선상가서 님보 도시의 상당다 다 게임바 속에 친체와 친도와리 신도와리 이나가서 미세야 전소지요 다 지당 야 이지야 사바든지 마틴지 유지로와 간다 가서 님보 도시 토마 가서 다 사장 제유가라 가서 상랑 이스탄 대본다고 지셔와이나 간다 토마 넘버 신지베 또 가서 배 동샤 토네 간다 가서 님보 도시 토네 샤동 제우디 답에 간다 참이지 레이나 디바 사치 뭐 간디지 사바이나 먼저 다 투약이 니바 열어와 다 투약이 니바 열에 든디 손자 먼저 균론 든디 kunirwa 다 현생적이 저도 간다 수수기 디바다야 리치도 단 넘버 신집이 또세 토마데 간다 제와 체라 토마메반에 다다 봐도 먼저 배 제와 망부 쉬우지 랑차와 손자 다 디바 차침보 망부 사차리 망부 사차바 파 시샤 토리 수수 상당로와 든디 디바 망부 쉬우지 사차리 제와 망부지라 다 든디 사차와 손자 다 드리 간다 샤동의 제마 두바이나 고가 상본들이 지라 샤도 지알페 개와 상보레 든디 샤도 마제바이나 디바 사차야기 주되기 레프텔라 다 라야다 뭐야 도야 자와니니 요마리스 단 레프트 텐데 소소 냥구레스로와 냥거바 상탄에 대소소페 사차바디기 디바 마부 사차바디기 아주 코바나라 두슈바나시 든디기 상탄에 두두 슈바이나 다 메라서바 든디기 마제바이나 다 소소 소라 텐데 내가 요로와 내가 요래 뭐 든디스다 다 디바 차침보 사차이기라 다 간다 샤파 마신은 지금 모두 서서 인제바 잡고지야 인제바 잡고지야 배 쉬고지 니가 쉬고래로와 인제바 잡고지바 디 또지 가라 나수배 니가 가르쳐서나 디비 야 폐 편조 쳐봐 디박이야 폐한테 초치는 그래서로와 디바스 제가 지다 샤도 마신 야야 폐는 거래 된 초쳐봐다 내가 간다 디 뇨 준티긴 제베세와데 다도 정마진데 시슈사이 어디니가 다야게 니가 전부 지요래서와
넘버 니바 데카리 디바 침 디바 페야데 초치에바다
펜도와서 초치에바다 뇨 진디진데바 진디진데바들라 뇨 진디진데바 셰바 진디진데바요와 다 뇨 진디진데바세와데 센드럽나 신지 소치와다 녀바지야라 든디 가와 세통와라서 든디 요로와 세통와 니마와라서 바 소바 다야 다들 뇨 진디진데바와 세통와다 니마와 차도 강이 뒤좀 쳐야 소파 다투야기 더 니가 쉬지요 그래서 넘버 신집에 또 두스 상만 땅바이나
Yep. Yeah, exploration. Yeah. So regarding how to think about with regard to four opponent powers, then most probably, especially those seniors, then you all would have known about it already. So what I'm going to explain, it will serve as a reminder to all of us and also for the sake of those newcomers. So during this, these four opponent powers, then I will explain it in such a way that is very easy to put into practice. So when we do prostrations together with these 35 confession Buddhas, then it's easy to think about as well. So the motivations of doing prostrations conjoining with 35 confession Buddhas is for the sake of all sentient beings. I want to purify my negativities. And then the first power of four opponent powers is the power of regret. So these with four opponent powers, whatever negativities that we have accumulated since beginning last time, including 5 heinous crimes, can be purified as well. So by applying the four opponent powers in purification practice, it has the power or the ability to purify even the 5 heinous actions, such as a heavy negative karma, a heavy negative karma or negativities. So one thing to be sure is we have accumulated numberless negativities because we have taken rebirth since beginning last time, and in those numberless rebirth, we had accumulated numberless negativities. So this is for sure. So on this auspicious day, the 15th day of Saka Dawa, so we should utilize this opportunity to engage in purification practice. Then we ourselves will be to engage ourselves in this purification practice. So if we do not do this purification practice, the 35 confession Buddha's practice, then those negativities cannot be purified. Definitely, we will experience its result. So those negativities, if it is not purified, it will not cease by itself. It will not vanish or disappear by itself. It remains there. And then when the condition is right, then it will ripen, then we will experience its result. So this power of regret the negativities that we have done since beginning last time, as if the regret, the attitudes of regret that we should have It's as if we have swollen poison, that if I do not do anything about it, if I do not take medicines or antidotes, then I'm going to die. Definitely, I'm going to die. So such kinds of regret we should develop. So with these powerful power of regret, then it able to stop negativities from increasing. The negativities that we have accumulated, once it's accumulated, then it will multiply, it will increase, and it will multiply. And if we do not do a purification practice, it will continue to multiply. So by generating the power of regret the negativities that we have done, then it stopped those negativities from increasing. And not only it stops those negativities from increasing, it also purify the result, the experiential, causally concordant experiential result. Causally concordant experiential result. In other words, is the result which experience the result which is the experience similar to the cause. So in the proper term for it is causally concordant experiential result can be purified by the power of regret. For example, for this causally concordant experiential result is like a short life and many sicknesses. So by generating the power of regret, those result can be purified.
되게 제가 간다 저바 잡고 제바 단지 단돈 지글스나 대산이 지금 말이스로 저바 잡고 집이 돈에 다 신체 다 대가 배 디바들이 차치고 망보 띄와 망보 지네 사사래 다 신체 쏠라 보장이 고순지 니바 가요부터네 고순지 니바 가요부터네 대 간다 종의 주선 사이 디비실라 주고 미스네 다 소소부터서 알라마이도 꾼초선라 근데 당자 제바데 데랭안서 never lot of it. Ages never lot of it. What one jabba trouble, Sats and jabba trouble, Jabba Macheva, Shinche Sola Boja, Tangi, goes to Geneva Kanyo, that Jongi Dusans are Dibishila Shugumi is the Tanjachi address.
So just develop this power of regret is not enough. So it leads to the second power, the power of refrain. So from now on, so first we develop regret, right? Regret the negativities that we have done since beginningless time. Then from now on, even at the course of my life, with all the power of my three doors, I will not engage in an actions that is complete with the beginning, actual, and end. So I will not engage in negativities that is complete with these three phases: beginning, actual, and end. And so here is to promise not to engage in those negativities with the complete of three phases. So it leads to the second power, the power of refrain.
Ganda number never lot to be taught in Piente, Ganda, that Shinchilla, Dipan Trocheba, that Shiba Jindu Jindiba, Dribishino, Shiba Jindiba Tag, Niba Yersewer, that Shiba Jindi or Shiba Jindibo. The Tanda Lotusarina, the Lo Matinang, the Malawachi Ushaprua, Dribishi the culture. Do the
Chinji the torture, Isla.
Shinchi or Dipan Trocheba, Shinchi Dipa Savan Trocheba, that under Shiba Jindibo. Tag Niba Yures, that Shiba Jindibo, Mazope, de Lady Duja, Pengama, Dipa Sachi Mobasavina, Jizianda, Dipa Sala, Gabuchinigi, Dipa Sara, Niba Sara, Hajan Shawatel and Jubala, Gawada Toachinigi, Dijin or Shiba Jindibo, or that Dipa Shinchi Dipa Troja, that Shiba Jindibo, Tag Niba Yures, Cantante, and never allowed to be taught.
And the benefits of develop the power of refrain is it stops the accumulations of negativities, and we also purify the another result, which is causally concordant behavioral result. Causally concordant behavioral result, and you're able to purify it. And this causally concordant behavioral result is a very bad type of result to be experienced. Why is so? Is because in the past we have accumulated negativities, and when we experience this result, and we we like to do it again. We like engaging in doing those negativities. So because of this, we say that it is is a very bad type of result to be experienced. And by developing the power of refrain, then it enables to purify it.
Digi jilarwa, da njeba tabu jeba tangji ma zeba shingchi be sola boja nyeba ma jeba tangja shaba nangshi, tandu karchi tangja shaba nangshi soso bina go sunji chawa de, da pe geyi shula gandhi ji dubai na, tenda du tuya ge, da lama ida kuncho songe, shingji laudo sosna, kuncho la shingji laudo sosna, de kanda lama la shusunje, sangji la shusunje, da tenpa chonde de deji bada chunga yanda wa zubi sangji, pe jawa shingji duwa chansa dusun dongo yo 도스 신 덴디로와 신 신지기 체도 대간다 라마이다 군조슨제 고슨제 디바타야라 신질라도 소스네 덴디 소왔다네 대간다 짠도 셰바데 짠도 띵지 또 차고요래 띵지 또 데라 간다 로와 짠도 덴디 짠도데 장주기 생기 심비토네 짠도로와 신 신지기 된도 덴디 고슨제 디바타야 체도 데 라마이다 군조슨제 신질라도 소스네 대간다 소스 짠도 치야로와 오데 덴디 짠도도 되오데 대가 간다 라마라 조스 상지라 조스 뜻 ndewdi de ganda tenji to chagu yores.
So we develop the power of regret, then we make promise not to engage in negativities complete with three phrases, and then after we made such promise, then we practice according to our promise. So then we request to Lama, and then we request to the three jewels, please bless me to be able to accomplish, to put my three doors into accomplishing the virtuous action. So here is to request Lama, and then to and request to the three jewels, please bless us to have the ability or to be able to put our three doors into accomplishing virtuous actions. And having made such prayer to lamas and three jewels, then we take refuge in the three jewels, take refuge in lamas, and then we take refuge in the three jewels as well. So with these, then we recite Lama Lakyap Suchiwo, Sangye Lakyap Suchiwo, Chö Lakyap Suchiwo, and Gendun Lakyap Suchiwo. In English is I take refuge in Lama, Buddha, Dhamma, and Sangha. And this refuge is infused with, or is conjoined with bodhicitta. So for the sake of all sentient beings, then I take refuge. So with these attitudes, the refuge become a Mahayana refuge. And here it leads, which is the third power, the power of basis.
Diba sabade sanjila diba sabade senjila diba sabani gorwa ta chandu cheba de kanda sanjila sabi diba deso ta so chi chagore ta kanda chanju ge sena sana tawde ta ye senjila diba sa de ta gi niba chembo ji le gore swa kanda ngazo tingi to de la.
So regarding the power of basis, so there are power of basis is taking refuge and generating bodhicitta. So when we accumulate merits, when we accumulate negativities, we accumulate it with in relation to two objects. The first one is Buddha, enlightened being, and another object in relation to which we accumulate negativities is sentient beings. So in order to purify the negativities accumulated in relation to enlightened beings, to Buddha, then we take refuge. So taking refuge purifies such negativities. And by generating bodhicitta, it purifies the negativities accumulated in relation to sentient beings.
Tendi sunsa, ta kanda tingi to degi niba penye tsuo de kanda diba nyamma wa sheba ta dabin diba ta yuguba yore yesi gore.
La diba de.
Diba de ma nyamma wa sheba. Unwe de choma tuba, unwe de majiwa ma nyamma wa sheba ta dabin diba ta yuguba dusi yore yesi wa. Ta dabin diba kanda lumba kawa, suso kawa chiba ina, ben tinchi pisun soba yosa ma do, de kanda neda megi mawa ta, 사야다 소야 공부 사자 조보 들리라 마지야기 다 간다 니바 쇼쇼레스와 lumba pe pisu soba 들리라 지야기 다 니바 요레스.
And and with this power of basis, it stops the negativities. It suppresses those negativities, and it purifies the environmental result. So what is environmental results? For example, if we were to born in a place because of the creations of negativities, then we born in a place or born in the countries where there is a lot of unconducive conditions present, like for example, famine, flood, disasters, or food and drink is difficult to find, or we're born in the place, the unclean place or filthy place. So those are unconducive conditions, and those are unconducive conditions, and those are the environmental result to be experienced when we experience the result of negativities. One type of the result that we will experience when the result is right, when the cause is ripened, negativities is ripened. So by generating this power of basis, it is able to purify such environmental result, and then we will experience, or we will be born in a place where conducive conditions are present.
되게 지나 간다. 나도 jantu 생시 제네로와 다 간다. 디바다야 게 다 레텐다보다 다 군초송 모두 데를 하바 메시 소소고 레티디 제차이게라. 당은에 신승적인 상지지 공부 토고요나 단 팀지 초사보다가 지 디바 정말 맞음바 야 상지지 공부에 토토고 말이스. 로와 근데 손자 단 팀지 초상가 지 디바 정화데 다 좋은 님보 도시도를 리워래. 로와 단 님보 도시도는 등아서 상타들이 단 님보 도시들 때 지난 가서 이스 망보 열다 드린 찬도 심하게 바지 도도나로와 간다 드린 가서 배 차피네 데 동샤글하 순지 송알아서 봤대 속은 세제어디 다 간다 님보 도시를 누구여 조 님보 도시
동샤기 하로
세요 하다 간다 달라마라 쳐진저도 간다 하급에 상직인 세라서 봤어 제어디 다 님보 도시 간다 토니 간다 차도 지고도 누구여
님보 군도 쪽에 또라 있어
님보 군도 쪽에 또 어디라 누구여 근데 순자 다치나 님보 군도 쪽에 또라 조나 뭐 조여래 다디서 망보시 막이 받지 다들이 뒤세면 들어와
Yeah, so we generate the power of basis in relation by making prayers, and then by taking refuge in Lama and in three jewels as well. Then we generate bodhicitta towards all sentient beings. So we entrust ourselves to Lama, to three jewels. So after that, if we want to achieve the state of enlightenment, then we have to accumulate conducive conditions for it, and we also have to purify the unconducive conditions for it as well. For it as well. So, and it leads to the fourth power, which is the power of antidote, or the power of remedy. So there are six main remedies. So, however, due to time constraint, I'm not going to talk about the six main antidotes. And here today, the 35 confession practice conjoining with the prostrations that we are going to do is one of the main antidotes among the six, which is reciting the names of the Tathagatas.
디 간다 님보군도 집에 또 되게 니바데 가리였으나 다 간다 디바 짜와네 파 다바당 디바 짜와네 다야게 배 니바당 다 간다 남이진 드고 남이 드부다 녀송다 녀송라서 바데다라 마지야게 디 니바 요레스로와
So the benefits of generating the power of remedy is it is able to purify the negativities, totally uproot the negativities, completely purify the negativities, and also to purify the ripening result. So the ripening result of negativities, for example, is to be born in three lower realms. So by purifying such ripening results, then we will not fall into the three lower realms.
다 차비가랑 아주 디지 쉬어야 지난 가서 미바 제당데 간다 데로와 다 비게 샤피도지 비게라 차피가랑 아주 미바 제당데 디지 러나로와 다 단다 대화 지미야 디신 당상 말에 다 차피에 디시시라 인상 말이야
Oh yes.
미시 그런 거 좋아하는 등 아주 비게 차피도지 등 아주 미바 정다 디지 러야 이로와
Yeah. So I will also briefly talks about how to do visualizations when we do prostration. Regarding the four opponent powers, do you have any question? If you don't have, then Geshe will proceed to explain what to visualize when we do prostration.
Geshe, for the last opponent power of antidote, where the action uproot the negativity plus the imprint as well, the imprint.
So, Geshe, tama de nyembo kundu jobi topse de diba zawa ne tagi ro ijla. Ini de diba tang baji kaza diba tang ini baja de nyamdu zawa ne tagi inas. Diba tang baja. Diba tang baja nyamdu zawa ne tagi reves.
다 니가 요래서 디파 바샤 참아 싸워네 다 니가 요래서 간다. 다 님보 도시르마 림바기는 데와 차고르다. 님보 도시르마 참아 찌기찌르마 만 튀지네. 상도스탄테 타마들 니가 도시요 리고리스 님보 부지 돌아.
Yep. Yeah, it has the power. It has the power to purify completely not only the negativities, also to purify the imprints as well. So these four opponent powers has to be done connecting one with another. So we have to go through the full four opponent powers. Then it will have such power to purify negativities together with imprints.
I have a question, Ken.
Yes.
You know, at my age, we are senior citizen and overweight. I can't do physical prostration. Can I just chant first until, you know, I have enough merits my body can bend?
No. Yeah, Geshe, yang kaza yang kung kaza lo chiru joje any disu yang subuan dis kaza anti dis shagaba yuzan di chatse tuwi mindusa any di kaza di dongsha ina di jigbo di duanje any di sona mambosa any di jema subo chatuwa ina di shine di chatuna di yunas. Geshe, internet a bit like you hear the can hear me clearly. Yeah, but I hear Geshe a bit like a bit lagging.
Oh, well, we
Can you all can hear Geshe clearly, is it?
How about others?
We can hear quite clearly. There's still a little bit delay, but now okay, Geshe, okay.
Oh, okay. Yeah, then probably it's my problem. Yeah, then Geshe continue.
Yeah. That thing 그러나 칼로스나 수분 기초제마다 강에도나 맞아 지당 맞아 차들 리지차 나가샤 이차 소요로와 다데 이지차 상 땅나 피는 지고래 나가샤 피는 지고래 다 리지차데 깔레 가고도나 까마니 소제 고 상노 야보 땅에 또 헬레 지네 세난 지고래스고 데라요 마레스 데라 지나 지고요 마 이고 마레 상노 도시 야보 나가샤 야보 또야 야보 피 때 이지 차라 대기 야보지 때 근데 주름보 되네 때 리지 차데 야 텔레지 피난디 그랬고 뭐 던디지나 ndi고르 때 고송가기 차데 너란 니버 치야 그랬고.
Yeah, so if due to physical constraint and we are unable to do the physical prostrations, so previously we also talked about there are three types of prostrations: physical prostration, verbal prostrations, and mental prostrations as well. So in other words, is the verbal homage and the mental homage as well. So so if we can't do the physical prostrations, then there are another two types of prostrations to be done as well, which is offer the verbal homage and the mental homage as well. So, and if we can still do prostrations, then we can still do a prostrations with the complete of our with the body, speech, and mind as well. So first, we take some times to think about the verbal homage and to generate, to pay the mental homage as well. So for 2 or 3 minutes, so we think about it. Then we do one prostration slowly. Then we do a few prostrations or do one prostration. Then we repeat. So again, we think about the verbal homage, mental homage. So then again, we do the physical prostrations. So by doing prostrations complete with the 3 doors, then it will becomes powerful, very powerful.
Yeah. 다 그래 차 고주에 인베
La oh,
차 고주는 가
because I 미바 지랑 데.
바 저다 비지 차 고주는 니 주연이로
데 라소.
아니 참아야 아니 데 차피네 피도치데 두스 미파장네 장시가 these lines.
So yeah, if there is no further questions, then we all can rise up. Then Geshe will stand up as well, and then Geshe will explain how to do visualization.
Yeah, shit. Oh yeah.
Okay.
Oh. This is okay, Ali. Yeah. This neat.
要弄高一点。
都行的事。OK 啊。要给了。
통기민도. 단어 통기민도. that 통스. 통스.
나 당부 대이다 캔라. 참마게 당부 가서 자유의 사다인다 로아. 가서 두슬라니 인디기 나가 태당도 다 간다 슈트 첨보지 상단 당가서 도디인다 슈트 첨보지 상단 대가나 덴바 투병보 데디 코라제네 간다 동샤가 라스미 송하다 데 산제다 라마 예다 산제 장세 보고 칸도 참마 코라제네 또 산제 동산이 라서 참마도 쉬어서 매바지야 담보 자유 매바지야 디 자유 사다야.
So first, we visualize the object of refuge, and in the space before you, then you visualize there is a great throne, a great lion throne, and upon which there sits Buddha Shakyamuni, and he is surrounded by the 35 confession Buddhas. He is surrounded by Buddhas, Bodhisattvas, Yidams, and the 1,000 Buddhas, 1,002 Buddhas. Also visualize Buddha Shakyamuni is surrounded by 7 medicine Buddhas as well.
라좀바 찬사 여봤었다 그래. 들어와 오칸도 지중 참았었다 그래. 이 참아 여봤었다 이게인데 먼저 배 니가 겸보 먼저 들어와 소타지 동바단가이 네버서데 상기의 전주스가 쏟아 쏟아지네. 다 니가 여래. 먼저 들어와
I cannot hear, sorry.
소타지 동바 말 소타지 동바 전주스비 동바 장주스보다 동바단가이 네바사진조도 수조 샤도 지하들어와 이게 상진의 장주스보다도 배사다 뒤로 가서 이노라 거기에 캔라
and this and this cancer 차송 and this 소다기 동바당 이 장샘기 동바 가위 예바 and the 다기레스
동바소여와 장주스비 동바단가이 네바서 조 샤도 지오디 상진의 장주스보게 단다 자유는 사다여와 딜라 미네 맞아 차피우디 니가 다야 니가 조딜레요레스.
소다 기동바 당 정신 기동바 당 nga 기동바 네 당 가윈 예바 네 타기 오레스 네 조에나 네 정신 기동바 가윈 예바 네 조에 샤 타기를 와이실라
장주신 동바가 내가做的 가서 상제의 장주신 발이야. 做미네 샤도 정도와.
Yeah. So so after we visualize the object of refuge, then next is the four immeasurables. The four immeasurables that I previously talked about. So here it comes right in. It comes a feat that we can also think about these four immeasurables that I mentioned in the class. So the object of refuge is Buddha, Bodhisattvas, Arhats, Dakas, and Dakinis. Then these are the object of refuge that we visualize. So there are three types of vows: individual liberation vows, Bodhisattva vows, and tantric vows. So by mainly visualizing Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, so then we do purification practice. Then the negativities of breaking Bodhisattva vows then can be purified by this purification practice.
그래서 다 먼저 상하게 동바데 인가이 다 예바자 동안 줄려오데 다도 다바치야 또 이제 칸도 지주 보고 칸도 지주도 사다 여러와 오다데 줄라서 미네 샤동 제오데 다 다하게 니바 조들이 여레스
바오 칸도 당 적용데 나게 동바로
어디데 상하지 동바
And to purify the negativities of breaking tantra vows, then the object of refuge that we mainly visualize is Daka, Dakinis, and Dhamma protectors.
안가서 소타지 dum바데 소다 인가이 동안 예바르슬라 다란자다 녀테 그래서 마부사다 여러와 오다데 솔라 미니 조 다하게 니바 여레스
And in order to purify the negativities of breaking individual liberation vows, the object of refuge that we mainly visualize is solitary realizers and hearers.
다 단단한서 짜요 빠도메바 상로당 대인다 다 사마투 상 추지 당시다 다 단다베 짜윤딩 난가 태량도 베다 짜요 빠도메바 파 강요 상 딘디 띠세 상당시스
Yeah, so it is one of the four immeasurables, which is the immeasurables object of refuge. So now we take some time to do these visualizations.
Can you say Bodhisattva vows? Which one to visualize?
Buddhas and Bodhisattvas. Mainly visualize Buddhas and Bodhisattvas.
다 두서 짜요 빠도메바 사다 세질라 다 간다 가르기 체도 있으나 다 생제 빠도메바 안 딘디기 체도 다 간다 소소기 소사 디심 치유에서 메바 들어와 딜라 상노 추세 당시스
The next to conjoin this practice with the next immeasurable, which is for whose sake we are doing this practice of accumulating merits and purifying our obscurations, which is for the sake of immeasurable sentient beings, I'm going to engage in this practice. Now, take some time to think about it.
아간다 차피에도 신기 빠도메바 되게 된다 마세 다 차피에도 간소 수수급에 리빠메 리빠도메바베 에트니 망보지 버트네로 리빠도메바라 다 간다 응고 빠도메바 다이 빠도메바 리고여와 오다 든디게 베 간다 리빠도메바게 샤치 피우는 간소 리빠도메바 트네 든디게 베 빠메 디소게 냠도 다랑 차피고여서 메바 지지 데 ngaso 동샤 다 지긴 생겨오디 대바데 내오디 대베 nga 빠도 메바 든디기 베 냠도 내하게 메바 제 니로와 다 이들라 베 이게 초신기 베 동샤가 하송아라 소비 쯔비 다 상제 동자리 라소 마모여就是참마 초시 참마라로와 다 간다 연된다 연된진에 대바지와다 꺼든진에 소소 그 규바지와 오 딘디게 성탄 데르다 맞아 이지 차빠도 매봐 그래서 초신도서 앞에나 이지 연제진의 대박 빠도 매봐지야 까딘진의 그거 빠도 매봐지야 어떤 리와 유성격이 빠미기 차차는 거로 로아 어디 성을 주지 당하셨어 근데 책이 이상
Yeah, next, we also visualize our bodies. I said we also visualize our bodies emanate numberless as well. So emanate immeasurably. So we they are immeasurable bodies. So since they are immeasurable bodies, they are immeasurable heads. And since they are immeasurable heads, then they are immeasurable mouth, and together with the immeasurable mind. So with these immeasurable number of bodies, speech, and mind. So when we do one-time prostrations, then the prostrations become immeasurable. So we have to think that these immeasurable emanations of our body are doing prostrations together with us. So then it creates an immeasurable number of prostrations. Then when the immeasurable number of mouth singing offer the praises, reciting the name of Tathagatas, then we also visualize the immeasurable emanations are reciting together, and together with the mental homage, mental homage. So when we think about the good qualities of the object, when we think about the good qualities of merit field, then we develop faith. And when we think of the kindness of the merit field, then we develop respect. So the faith and the respect that we develop also become immeasurable. So we remember the good qualities and the kindness of the merit field that represented by 35 confession Buddhas, Buddhas of 1002 Buddhas, and etc.
어디지라 차빠미 피고여서 어디 지루와 따빠미 신다 디미든지 차 피고여서 매버지야 디지스루와
Yeah. So with these, then I make a numberless or immeasurable number of prostrations.
따빠미디 ngazo be sang distan shimbingane da 이게 ngazo 초신이야 차피오디 토마데 ngazo sang 다 dinda be 초신도서다 디즈에서 나가 be 까부 휴치 돈에 다 ngazo 샤리 피오디 ngazo 생지 참하게 다 간다 빠도메 바 핑기기 생지 감각에 쇼네마 외세 까마 티스도 마 티네 be 디바간가다 마 바보가 창세네 마 추기마 휴청보지마 ngoma shiba nangshi jaba dipa tsero sab dipa ngama babu baga yu tsamma ma shiba ma kha dusma ma subot ba dus linga yusun ga ma tsama so sa dus me ba je ta rang yesin je tangchi dipa dano dinda shu ne ma dus ma bodi dipa ngama babu baga yu tsamma pa nothing pa tanda dizig pe subol pa kansu sansa tindi je me ba je yin tinga cha pia tambu me ba jong dinda me ba ta rang jong shida.
Yeah, so we should do prostrations while thinking about these four immeasurables, and then we do the visualization from this object of merit field. From this merit field, then five colored light rays together with nectar, with the white color being the predominant color, and then flows or descend, and then enter into our body through our crown. And then these five colored nectar together with lights fills up our body, absorb into our body, fills up our bodies. And the negativities of oneself, the negativities of all sentient beings, of our three doors are totally eliminated and come out from our bodies through our bodily, through our pores, our hair pores. So all negativities of three doors and oneself and others totally come out from our bodies and vanish in the space. through our hair pores.
让你身体躺起，立即就把大松上没把解决死，
류기 가래?
立即就把大松上，
류기 디바 타송.
或者让你身体躺起，立即都是蛮久的，立即就把大松上没把解决死。
So then after we do the prostrations, then we in our mind develop a certainty that the negativities, physical negativities of oneself and other sentient beings are totally purified. So develop such certainty in our mind.
哎呀，那就动向过自己啊。
So now I will recite the 35 confession Buddhas. 中天的心是八斋中八样，大八所别上给人间给在拉家子路。中天的心是八斋中八样，大八所别上给人间给在拉家子路。中天的心是八斋中八样，大八所别上给人间给在拉家子路。 Omo namo bhagavate ranaketu rajaya tadhagataya ade samya sambuddhaya dayada rane rane maharane rana vijaya soha Om namo bhagavate ranaketu rajaya tadhagataya ade samya sambuddhaya dayada rane rane maharane rana vijaya soha Om namo bhagavate ranaketu rajaya tadhagataya ade samya sambuddhaya dayada rane rane maharane rana vijaya soha Omo namo manju shriye nama su shriye nama u dhamma shriye soha O namo manju shriye nama su shriye nama u dhamma shriye soha O namo manju shriye nama su shriye nama u dhamma shriye soha Lama Denpa Jungden Den Deshin Senpa Dra Jungpa Yang Dapa Zubi Sangye Pekya Wa Shakya Tupa La Cha Zi Lu Omo Namo Dasha Di Jiga Lai Sawa Rana Jaya Ya Nama Patasha Supra Dasha Sawa Papam Vishu Dani Soha Om Namo Dasha Di Jiga Lai Sawa Rana Jaya Ya Nama Patasha Supra Dasha Sawa Papam Vishu Dani Soha Om Namo Dasha Di Jiga Lai Sawa Rana Jaya Ya Nama Patasha Supradasha Sawa Papam Vishodani Soha Om Namo Dasha Din Jihalai Savarana Dayaya Nama Patasha Supradasha Sawa Papam Vishodani Soha Namo Jangju Zenbe Dongwa Shaba Da Shege Wan Duna Nu Lama La Gyabzu Jiwo Sangye La Gyabzu Jiwo Chue La Gyabzu Jiwo Kendun La Gyabzu Jiwo Lama Dunba Jungdian De Deshin Senpa Dra Jungpa Yang Daba Zube Sangye Pekya Wa Shakya Tupa La Cha Zi Lu Deshin Sheba Duje Nyingbu Ramdu Jungpa La Cha Zi Lu 地心邪把人间为追拉恰子路，地心邪把路往给给波拉恰子路，地心邪把把为得拉恰子路，地心邪把被给拉恰子路，地心邪把人间没拉恰子路，地心邪把人间大为拉恰子路，地心邪把通往退越拉恰子路。 地心邪把人间大瓦拉恰子路，地心邪把提玛灭巴拉恰子路，地心邪把北京拉恰子路，地心邪把长巴拉恰子路，地心邪把长北京拉恰子路，地心邪把朱拉拉恰子路，地心邪把朱雷拉。 去列拉拉恰子路，地心邪把北上拉恰子路，地心邪把正殿北拉恰子路， 德行谢巴自己他也拉恰子路，德行谢巴未别拉恰子路，德行谢巴娘年没别别拉恰子路，德行谢巴se me给不拉恰子路，德行谢巴没多别拉恰子路。德行谢巴常别为些南巴日别我巴看巴拉恰子路。德行谢巴北美为些南巴日别我巴看巴拉恰子路。德行谢巴诺别拉恰子路。德行谢巴真别别拉恰子路。德行谢巴真别新都永扎拉恰子路。德行谢巴往北多给真给波拉恰子路。德行谢巴新都南巴南北北拉恰子路。德行谢巴玉列新都南巴给瓦拉恰子路。德行谢巴南巴南北西北北拉恰子路。德行谢巴古内南瓦古北北拉恰子路。德行谢巴人间北面南巴南巴拉恰子路。德行谢巴扎中巴扬达巴周别桑给仁波切当北马拉热度苏巴里旺给耶波拉恰子路。德行谢巴扎中巴扬达巴周别桑给仁波切当北马拉热度苏巴里旺给耶波拉恰子路。德行谢巴扎中巴扬达巴周别桑给仁波切当北马拉热度苏巴里旺给耶波拉恰子路。
对的，听了，
啦，
两个单位呢，咱们从哪个举报的，立即举报他送是那个经的，咱哪个举报的是没讲的，也在教育了，咱跟哪些没讲的，学那么，今天咱女的刚提报的被，你是刚刚嘛，那你也讲的，刚才就可就那些，包括不个他们的地方怕多少种是，也讲的呗，哪个举报他送上那个继续是。
Next, we do the same visualizations. Then we visualize the descent of 5-color nectars together with light, 5-colored light rays together with nectars. Then with the white colors being the predominant color, and then it enters into our body, and then it fills up our bodies. So the nectars enter into our body, and then it fills up our bodies from the bottom, and then slowly rise up to the top of our body, and then we visualize all our verbal negativities are purified. So those negativities, so as if like floating on the nectars, and then when it fills up our bodies, then those negativities comes out from the hair pores and our crown, from our crown. So all negativities come out from our bodies and then vanish, and all our oneself and others verbal negativities are totally purified, so develop such certainty in our mind. The Yangya Rebekishla, Sangya Songara. So I repeat 35 Buddhas. Lama Dunba Jungden de Dishin Sheba Dajumba Yangda Ba Zubir Sangye Begya Wa Shakya Tubala Chazi Lu. Dishin Sheba Doje Nimbu Rabdu Jumba La Chazi Lu. 德行谢巴人间为觉拉恰子路，德行谢巴路王给给波拉恰子路，德行谢巴巴维德拉恰子路，德行谢巴贝给拉恰子路，德行谢巴人间没拉恰子路，德行谢巴人间大卫拉恰子路，德行谢巴通话吞月拉恰子路。 德行谢巴人间大瓦拉恰子路，德行谢巴金马梅巴拉恰子路，德行谢巴北京拉恰子路，德行谢巴长巴拉恰子路，德行谢巴长北京拉恰子路，德行谢巴朱拉拉恰子路，德行谢巴朱雷拉拉恰子路。 德行谢巴北上拉恰子路，德行谢巴正殿北拉恰子路，德行谢巴自己他也拉恰子路，德行谢巴 维别拉恰子路，地心些巴娘耶没别拉恰子路，地心些巴是没给布拉恰子路，地心些巴没多别拉恰子路，地心些巴上别为些南巴日别恩巴金巴拉恰子路。地心些巴别没为些南巴日别恩巴金巴拉恰子路。地心些巴努别拉恰子路，地心些巴真别拉恰子路，地心些巴真别新都用着拉恰子路，地心些巴往北多给真给波拉恰子路，地心些巴新都南巴努别拉恰子路，地心些巴有列新都南巴给巴拉恰子路。地心些巴南巴努别西别拉恰子路，地心些巴古涅南瓦古别拉恰子路，地心些巴真见别灭南巴努巴拉恰子路，地心些巴扎中巴扬达巴左别上给仁波切当别马拉入都书巴日王给波拉恰子路。地心些巴扎中巴扬达巴左别上给仁波切当别马拉入都书巴日王给波拉恰子路。地心些巴扎中巴扬达巴左别上给仁波切当别马拉入都书巴日王给波拉恰子路。
第没法记得看了，是教育的，杨家都是没法记的，他讲的核心的这就是那个的，我这边我叔叔们人家听个了的，就我吃了他们那个啥的地方那个，哪部的就公安这些，公安那些的多的那些没法记的，但是历史那个，有些那个对了破的公安的，他到你地方那个吧，他到你把不个他们他听的。
So again, we do the same visualizations. We visualize from the merit field, 5 colored light rays, and together with 5 colored nectars, together with light rays, with the white color being the predominant color, and then descend and enter, and descend, and then we visualize the negativities of oneself and others accumulated since beginningless time. We visualize it in like a ball. How say visualize it like a ball, a size like an egg, or sometimes they also say that it's easier to visualize it as a pile of sand, for example, pile of sand. So this descent of 5 colored nectars with light rays strikes directly at the negativities that we visualize in the form like a egg at our heart. So then it strikes so strong that it is dispersed. All these negativities out of our bodies are totally purified. So then we visualize all our negativities are totally purified. So I'll continue. Yeah, Lama Dunba Junden de Deshin Sheba Janjumba Yandaba Zubi Sangi Bekiawa Shakya Tuba La Chazi Lu Deshin Sheba Doji Nimbu Rabdu Jumba La Chazi Lu Deshin Sheba Rinjian Wuchu La Chazi Lu Deshin Sheba Luwangi Gebo La Chazi Lu Deshin Sheba Bawu De La Chazi Lu Deshin Sheba Begi La Chazi Lu地心些巴人间没拉恰子路，地心些巴人间大卫拉恰子路，地心些巴童话吞玉拉恰子路，地心些巴人间大瓦拉恰子路，地心些巴芝麻面包拉恰子路，地心些巴北京拉恰子路，地心些巴长巴拉恰子路，地心些巴长北京拉恰子路。地心些巴朱拉拉恰子路，地心些巴朱列拉拉恰子路，地心些巴北上拉恰子路，地心些巴真殿北拉恰子路，地心些巴西吉塔耶拉恰子路，地心些巴维别拉恰子路，地心些巴娘耶美别拉恰子路。地心些巴西美吉布拉恰子路， 地心邪巴美多贝拉恰子路，地心邪巴藏贝维塞南巴如贝恩巴肯巴拉恰子路，地心邪巴贝美维塞南巴如贝恩巴肯巴拉恰子路，地心邪巴努贝拉恰子路，地心邪巴真贝贝拉恰子路，地心邪巴真贝新都永扎拉恰子路。地心邪巴王贝多给真给波拉恰子路，地心邪巴新都南巴南贝贝拉恰子路，地心邪巴有列新都南巴给瓦拉恰子路，地心邪巴南巴南贝西贝贝拉恰子路，地心邪巴归内南巴归贝贝拉恰子路，地心邪巴人间贝美南巴南巴拉恰子路。地心邪巴张中巴扬达巴左别桑给仁波切当贝马拉入都修巴日王给给波拉恰子路。地心邪巴张中巴扬达巴左别桑给仁波切当贝马拉入都修巴日王给波拉恰子路。地心邪巴张中巴扬达巴左别桑给仁波切当贝马拉入都修巴日王给波拉恰子路。
아까를 소자를 건드려.
Menla Ra is la.
야야야.
That's all. Yeah, so we continue with reciting prostration to the 7 medicine Buddhas. 中殿中殿的心三巴扎中巴扬大巴苏别桑给三列巴永着比基给波拉加子路中殿的心三巴扎中巴扬大巴苏别桑给仁波切当大瓦当贝美让都给巴西基扎扬给波拉加子路中殿的心三巴扎中巴扬大巴苏别桑给塞桑前面人间能度数珠巴拉恰子路，中殿的心山巴扎中巴扬大巴左贝桑给娘年美洲贝拉恰子路，中殿的心山巴扎中巴扬大巴左贝桑给觉达给这样拉恰子路。中殿的心山巴扎中巴扬大巴左贝桑给觉给出觉给路南巴รู巴恩巴肯贝给波拉恰子路。中殿的心山巴扎中巴扬大巴左贝桑给明吉拉贝杜耶维基给波拉恰子路。I repeat. 中殿的心山巴扎中巴扬大巴左贝桑给真列巴永扎贝基给波拉恰子路。中殿的心山巴扎中巴扬大巴左贝桑给仁波切当大瓦当贝美扎杜给巴西基扎扬给波拉恰子路。中殿的心山巴扎中巴扬大巴左贝桑给四藏真美真见能读书读巴拉恰子路。中殿的心山巴扎中巴扬大巴左贝桑给娘年美洲贝拉恰子路。中殿的心山巴扎中巴扬大巴左贝桑给觉达给出扬拉恰子路。中殿的心山巴扎中巴扬大巴左贝桑给觉给出觉给路南巴卓巴恩巴肯贝给波拉恰子路。中殿的心山巴扎中巴扬大巴左贝桑给明吉拉贝杜耶维基给波拉恰子路。中殿的心山巴扎中巴扬大巴左贝桑给真列巴永扎贝基给波拉恰子路。中殿的心山巴扎中巴扬大巴左贝桑给仁波切当大瓦当贝美占都肯巴西基扎扬给波拉恰子路。中殿的心山巴扎中巴扬大巴左贝桑给四藏姐妹真见能读修读巴拉恰子路。中殿的心山巴扎中巴扬大巴左贝桑给娘年美洲贝拉恰子路。中殿的心山巴扎中巴扬大巴左贝桑给觉达给这样拉恰子路。 Junden de Jin Seba Ja Jumba Yang Daba Zobe Sangye Jugao So Chuge Lunamba Rubangumba Kimbe Gebola Chazilu Junden de Jin Seba Ja Jumba Yang Daba Zobe Sangye Mengila Beduye Wiki Gebola Chazilu. Confession prayer and inji 20 등기 계시라. The data la so ba 추주 지den기 kam 탐제 de 동 샤바 de the inji 20 등기.
야야다 무슨 이거 그거 봐 다해. 내가 유명도 지제 주고.
So so with the visualizations as I mentioned just now, then we develop this certainty that I have already purified the negativities of my body, speech, and mind, and the negative of body, speech, and mind of all sentient beings are totally purified. So develop such certainty in our mind. Then I will recite the confession prayer in English. All you 35 Buddhas, 7 medicine Buddhas, and the others, as many Tathagata Arhat perfectly complete Buddha Bhagawans as they are abiding, living, and residing in all the world systems of the 10 directions. All you Buddha Bhagawans, please pay attention to me. In this life and in all the states of rebirth in which I have circled in samsara from beginningless lives, whatever negative actions I have created, make others create or rejoice in the creation of. Whatever possessions of holy objects of offering, possessions of the Sangha, or possessions of the Sangha of the 10 directions that I have appropriated, may others appropriate or rejoice in the appropriation of. Whichever among the 5 heavy negative karmas without break I have done, caused to be done, or rejoice in the doing of. Whichever of the 10 non-virtuous paths of action I have engaged in, cause others to engage in, or rejoice in the engaging of. Whatever I have done, being obscured by these karmas that cause me to be born as a sentient being in the hell realm, in the animal realm, or in the preta realm, in an irreligious country, as a barbarian, or as a long-life god, with imperfect faculties, holding wrong views, or not being pleased with a Buddha's descent. In the presence of the Buddha Bhagawans, who are transcendental wisdom, who are eyes, who are witnesses, who are valid, and who see with omniscient consciousness, I admit and confess all these negative actions. I do not conceal them nor hide them, and from now on in the future I will abstain and refrain from committing them again. O Buddha Bhagawans, please pay attention to me. In this life and in the other states of rebirth in which I have circled in samsara from beginningless lives, whatever roots of virtue I have created by generosity, even as little as giving just one mouthful of food to a being born in the animal realm, whatever roots of virtue I have created by guarding morality, and whatever roots of virtue I have created by following pure conduct, whatever roots of virtue I have created by fully ripening sentient beings, whatever roots of virtue I have created by generating bodhicitta, and whatever roots of virtue I have created by my unsurpassed transcendental wisdom. All these assemble and gather, then combine together. I fully dedicate to the unsurpassed, the unexcelled, that higher than the high, that superior to the superior. Thus, I completely dedicate to the highest, perfectly complete enlightenment. Just as the past Buddha Bhagawans have fully dedicated, just as the future Buddha Bhagawans will fully dedicate, and just as the presently abiding Buddha Bhagawans are fully dedicating, like that I too dedicate fully. I confess all negative actions individually. I rejoice in all merits. I urge and request all Buddhas, and may I achieve the supreme, holy, and peerless transcendental wisdom. To the conquerors, the best of humans, who are living in the present time, who have lived in the past, and who will likewise come, all those whose qualities are as vast as an infinite ocean, with hands folded, I approach for refuge. Geshe, Inji 2020. Wool is me. Great Guru Vajradhara. All other Buddhas and Bodhisattvas. I will recite general confession in English. Wool is me. Great Guru Vajradhara. All other Buddhas and Bodhisattvas who abide in the 10 directions, and all the venerable Sangha, please pay attention to me. I, who am named, say your name, circling in cyclic existence from beginningless time until the present, overpowered by delusions such as attachment, hatred, and ignorance by means of my body, speech, and mind. I have committed the 10 non-virtuous actions, committed the 5 heavy negative karmas without break, and committed the 5 nearing heavy negative karmas without break. I have transgressed the vows of individual liberation, transgressed the vow of bodhisattvas, and transgressed the samaya of secret mantra. I have been disrespectful to my parents, disrespectful to my Vajra masters and my abbot, and disrespectful to my spiritual friends living in ordination. I have committed actions harmful to the 3 rare sublime ones, abandoned the holy dharma, criticized the Arya Sangha, harmed sentient beings, and so on. These and many other non-virtuous negative actions I have done, have caused others to do, have rejoiced in others doing, and so forth. In the presence of the great Guru Vajradhara, all the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas who abide in the 10 directions, and the Venerable Sangha, I admit these entire collections of faults and transgressions that are obstacles to my own higher rebirth and liberation, and causes of cycle existence in the lower realms. I do not conceal them, and I accept them as negative. I promise to refrain from doing these actions again in the future. By confessing and acknowledging them, I will attain and abide in happiness, while by not confessing and acknowledging them, true happiness will not come. That's this one. That's this one. That's one. So, tanda ngoa ya kisla. That's all. Ngoa ni tuan go. Ni ngoa. Inga so kasa jinda na xin. Oh. Yeah. Then we dedicate. Now we visualize all the negativities of oneself and others. The negativities done by the 3 doors are totally purified. And then in our mind and in the mind of all sentient beings, realizations and good qualities have developed. So we do this visualization. Then we dedicate the roots of virtue accumulated especially through these prostrations. Then we dedicate it for Buddha Dharma to flourish in all 10 directions. And we also dedicate generally to all sentient beings to have happiness. And we also, and specifically, we dedicate these roots of virtue for this pandemic to be quickly ceased, and for wars and conflicts that happens all around the world to be quickly ceased as well. And those disasters, such as famine, flood, and etc., are totally purified immediately. With this in mind, then we recite a dedication prayer. Dagi jinye sabe gewa di dendang zhuwa gunla kampen dang geba jizun lozang tabayi tenbe nipo rindu seje zhu janju zenju rinpo je ma geba nang gegyo je geba nyamba meba yang gune gundu bewa zhu jambe bawa jida genba dang gundu zangbo deyang dejin dedang gungi jesu dalo je gewa dida tamje rabdu ngor dongni dawa rinpo je ma geba nang gegyo je geba nyamba meba yang gune gundu bewa zhu nyumye dawa rinpo je ma geba nang gegyo je geba nyamba meba yang gune gundu bewa zhu tubzu changjin jamben gewe den zingyong bewe gunzu dobo ze chozun guwe lemen juju ba dazu duje gundu sha den 说东野凝结中度就别了，确实是这抗战军队跟加纳别莫真正搞错了，说我的所写的很多说几天抗的变的毛驴吧，抗的中越上边一些诺抗战中没真正搞错了，说我的所这些很多说抗战绕为国为新抗的。看到的我毛驴中为呢，今日希望等真搞错一，下边是的报道等永久。
Can ask Christian can lah.
Gisela, nanti share yours. Coba tanya tinggi Yonas.
Yeah.
Gisela,
Uh,
the 35 Buddhas versus their each the 5 Dhyani Buddha, like Apshoya, Varochana, like that. So do we when we recite beside what Geshe method visualizing light coming, then body, speech and mind, each time when we recite the name of the 35 Buddha, can we then group them into the group of 5 and visualize the each of the Dhyani Buddha? Are these 5 Dhyani Buddha consisting of the 35 Buddha? My first question. 35 Buddha consists of 5 Dhyani Buddha. Then number 2, when we do visualization, are these 5 Dhyani Buddha come into our mind to assist us?
Gisela, 东夏상계 송아디, 동시에 상계 송아디, 개와 링아라 두기 요나스, 개와 담보디.
다 뒤에 가서 도도시나 디나 주드네 치고래. 가서 뒤가 숨지 송아로 와. 담보 뒤에 다 나나다. 다 머제바 린주 잔루 그래서 림바기다 가서 도도시나 뒤디라 잘로 그랬어 간다.
뒤에 야랑가 개와 링아디 딜라 두기 요나스.
링아나 주디바데 동샤 사수지 송아나 담보 뒤에 다 머제바. 뒤에가 나나다 린주 예밤에 잔루 도스마 림바기도 다들 도디 지내시야. 지다 상지 송아 수수수수 앞에 만다와 여러와. And that's a divaina that de la ngalamajana digresu.
So in general, these 35 Buddhas are different. So however, if you were to to group them, then you can group these 35 Buddhas into 5 Buddhas, 5 Tathagatas families. Like for example, Ashobhya, Virochana, Rana Sambhava, and the rest. So you can group them into these 5 Buddha families. If you want to group, then you can group them in these 5 Tathagatas families. 당연히 디동샤 상기송아 제제기 체 이때메가라 니 개와링아 난초기 셈라 펜도 남기요나스
펜도요다 다 고스기 디바 다야베 니바 첨보로 와 디 고스기 디바 다야다 간다 또비인데 줄라지야 빼야 진디기 빼 신경 주고요레스
Yeah, so definitely we will receive the benefits and also the blessings from the 5 Tathagatas families as well in purifying our negativities of our 3 doors and also in developing the good qualities and realization in our mind stream.
The Shijaguna Pe Mambo Pe, Larilla Pe, Missing Commandore, and the Shijayore. The distance that and that answer the ring out of the Dura. Do ditches on that to send me was that ringal my challenge to go for.
Yeah. So yeah, if we were to as a group them, then we can group them in these 5 group 35 Buddhas in the 5 Tathagatas families. And yeah, otherwise, if we were to expand them, then to explain 35 Buddhas individually, then it would take a lot of time. So yeah, due to the time constraint, then we can group them in the 5 Tathagata families.
Can just clarify, you can group them into the 5 Dhyani Buddhas, but the 5 Dhyani Buddhas is not part of the 35, right? Just to clarify. They are not, because the 35 Buddhas are Sutric Buddhas, isn't it? And the 5 Dhyani is more Tantric related, right? Just to ask Geshe.
그래서 기실라 아니 개와 링아 가자 좀 동시에 상기 송아에나 데드나 아니 개와 링아라 추두야 요레스 이네 개와 링아에나 this 상기 동시에 상기 송아 마레스 대티와 동보데 이나스 가인스나 동시에 상기 송아에나 데 도기 차네 도기 상기 더버로 와이슬라 도기 차네 니 상기 임바체 아니 개와 링아에나 디 당 나기 차네 나기 차네 니 디 개와 링아 디 시기요로 와스 된데 이나스
디 ngazo jawa ringa tongcha songa resen tendi koro logo mare tendi thani yo mare ro loya mare thani yo mare ngazo pe tongcha la songa ge pe pangtu ge yende de so pa jawa ringa le ya tu su didang ji shigo ro ma do jida ngazo ta su ji songa de pige jawa ringa resen na yende ge chane didang ge shigo ro ma do tendi ko la re re tendi ji resen tendi ke cha ke mare sko kusun to ge yende ge dida ge shigo re 간다 국고의 연대다 송고 연대 투지 연대 간다 두시야 냐내 제약이 뒤단지 시고요마도 자와링아 도지 순지 송아 개 말이 나나 레로야 말 뭐지바 레로야 말이 간다 템바셔서 더 봐 레로야 말와 간다 도 디나 연대 뒤단 거니 지게 시고
그래서 디 구sun 투기 연대인데 디 차네 디 두기요로
연대기 뒤단 거네 시골 가서 농도기 연대 뒤당 치 시골에 반도 연대요라 반도 연대 샤네
반도 연대
반도 연대기 뒤당 차니야 다 드니야 디스 시골에 마도 나서 배 간사 제다 받던 디지 디스는 깨자 시골에 말이 자와링아 tun지 숨숨 같은 디 일라나 디 타니기요 말해서 와 동샤 송가 이세나 디고 동샤 송가 템바 쳇도 바레서 원다 장주 좀 바레서 원다 디 깨샤게 말했어
Yeah, so regarding that, we do not say 5 Tathagatas families is 35 Buddhas. So there is no such thing of saying 5 Tathagata families as Buddhas. So however, we can why we can group 35 Buddhas. Sorry, the way we group 35 Buddhas in 5 Tathagatas families is from the aspects of qualities of abandonment and the qualities of realizations. So in other words, is the qualities of body, speech, and mind. So from these perspectives, then 35 Buddhas are grouped into these 5 Tathagatas families.
반도 든지 실에 만다와 레고리 다 든지 요비 토니야 자와링알 디당케 시고요와
디 하수소에나 디 가사 반도 연대노
가수 바바 수소게 베 조베나 까부지 연대 미세 실에 든지 덴바치 용고를 하수소라 단다게 간소 디신들라이나 간소 베나 까부지 덴바시 토바 나신 간소를 베나 데와 든지 차 요마로와 다 상지 망부 시고요와 다 상지 망부 시고를 된 간소 단다 잠벨인들라 간소 갑도지 베나 구수투지 연대의 조어데 상지 캐자 토바마도 현다게 상지 망부 열때 이나 미식 든지 데와 차고 요마로와 든지 소다 든지 나시 하베 송아 수수수솔라 베나 갑도지 베 연대 만다와 리 요레 다 소리야 자와링안이야 연대 수 디당케제 시고요 든지 시고요마도 연대 빵도지 연대 디당고 시고요마도 제다 간사 제다바지 파인 수인스 든지 케제 시고요 말에
Yeah, so in general, when we talk about each Buddhas or each Buddhas, then they have their own qualities of abandonment and qualities of realizations. And for example, to Buddhas whom we have greater connections. Like for example, the Buddhas we have greater connections at this era is Buddha Shakyamuni. So we can say that Buddhas. Each Buddhas can be grouped in these 5 Tathagatas families from the perspective of their quality of abandonment and realizations. However, we do not say that Buddha is is this particular 5 Buddha family, 5 Tathagata families.
Yeah, so Geshila, when we have this kind of chart, when we do 35 Buddha, actually the way the Buddha sit also is like Ashopia, no blue color, then Vairochana, you see, Keshila can see this, that chart that we used to do when we prostrate to 35 Buddha, Tanka. So it appears to be like when we prostrate to this Tanka or picture of 35 Buddha, they appear like this, Ashopia posture, Vairochana, then next is Vairochana Sambhava, next Amitabha, last Amoghasiddhi, and got 8 medicine Buddha down there. So it made me think like this 35 Buddha actually appear in the sitting posture of the 5 Tathagata Buddha families.
Oh, yeah. Kaisina ngaso tangga di yoro isla. Tungsha sangi songa gi tangga set. The yang rimba do dang da boy na dang di kasa hai ji dang da boy na yang jie ri la am tangbo mi gyo ba nam na jin jong de we ba me dang di kasa di kasa tuen ju di rimba shindu di du gu yoro wa. Any time they are mela doing it. And didn't take those in it in the inside the some local song young Kaza Sangi Songa ina young Kiwa Ringagi number is two bodies Kiwa Ringagi 2 bodies.
Jawa Ringa Tubas in the Jawa Ringa Tenti Kansa Sheta Batila Lowi or Mardas. So Jawa Ringa Seva the Ganso Ponto Jindi Tabi Chana Kisha Shigore. Suzuki Yindi Tabi Chana Kisha Shigore Maza Dindi Kansa Cheta Bati Dindi Kisha Shigu or Marisco.
Yeah, so these 5 Dhyani Buddhas or these five Dhyani Buddhas is expressed from the perspective of qualities of abandonment and realizations, and we do not refer or explain this Dhyani Buddha is a particular Buddhas or particular being. So we do not say in this way. So five Dhyani Buddhas is expressed from the perspective of quality of abandonment and realization, not a particular being.
At the so really shape when I so Toshala Song Alpe was a chance that the Sope Misega Kundo Mandawachi, Redin and Rishi Yorwa, that the Southern Gazo Tanda Chanson Yigumate, Kasi Tonshaji, Mazu Tria Koka Chumba, that so really and Rishi to see Yorwa.
Yeah, so because of time, then I didn't go through the explanations of descriptions of each Buddha of 35 Buddhas. For example, the hand implements they hold, and their colors. So otherwise, it would take a long time. If in the future we have the opportunity to study 35 confession Buddhas in particular, then I will explain the descriptions of each Buddhas.
Yeah.
Yep.
Thank you for clarifying my misunderstanding. Thank you, Keshila.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah. So just now, Dr. Go, then you asked me for how's it to purify the negativities of breaking a particular vows, right? Then what we visualize. Yeah. So instead of using the word visualize, then I think the more proper word is the object on whom we focus.
So for Tantric, you talk about Bodhisattva while we visualize Buddhas and Bodhisattva. For liberation while we visualize Dakini, solitary realizer and hearer. For Tantric while which one we visualize, we thought of?
Yeah, Tankin de Gishla, Sotaki Tomba dang Gewe, Nieba de Tagi Chetu, Zo Rangidang, and Yentu de Minero Isla. The Jansen Gitomba and the Sangidang Sembara. Nagi Tomba and the Power Kanjo Chupyongra. Yeah, so to purify the negativities of breaking Tantra vows, then we mainly focus on Daka, Dakinis, and Dhamma protectors.
Oh, do the answer to don't watch one cell what Takanda. Changes with Nebadan guy, Nebas Tunga, Takanda, Sotaji Tunga, Nog Tunga, Tindichuana, that Logora can never society. That Jedang also be Shansi Dombaga to Jubaina Kanda Tunshala Songala Soba, to sell answer mean a Chadon Chiare, then Nog Satun Jubaina, not so one show at Danjulian, but to so the Chebua. Dawa Chebura Zadung.
Zadung Chuan,
Zadung Chuan. Then also the Karse, Sotaji Dombalas about the Sodangai, Nepa Jumbaina. Then also China Sojon Las about the Yorua, Shichila, Shichia.
Yeah. So, in relation to to focus on a particular object, then we purify the negativities, or we purify the transgressions of a particular vows. So, yeah, and then So if what is that? If we break the root vows, then if we break root bodhisattva vows, then we have to do like 35 confession Buddhas. And if we break the root tantra vows, then we have to take self-initiations, for example. And if we break the root vows of individual liberation, then we have to attend a sojong ceremony, for example.
This is casting out the long goal to Dorta, George Pada de Chana, Chune, native goal in the 3 young the Sonshi answer, native goal like Chune, sitting a Yak Nama, a Kayak Nama Sombanashi, then this song is what the native tipi lula, Chune Decanda Sotaji Dombalang, you said, casting much not Shusara.
Yeah, so this also I mentioned in the beginning of Lamrim text, that Lama Atisha got his vows like a yak got its tails, or cherish its tails. So this is how Lama Atisha got the vows that he had taken. Oh, yeah. Do you still remember? Kishla asked.
Yes.
Good. Sheila Caroline asked for tantric vow. Why not we visualize or focus on the meditational deity, the Yidam?
Yeah. So I will not talk about tantra much today, because they are newcomers and public involved.
Sorry, next time, yeah. Caroline, sorry.
It's okay, Geshe. Thank you very much for this beautiful, amazing teaching.
Yeah.
So we stop here, and then prepare for the evening session.
Evening session. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Geshe. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Geshe. Very good.
Thank you very much, Geshe. Thank you very much, Ken.
Practice together, very good, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Geshe.
Yeah. Enjoy.
Thank you. See you later.
Thank you, Faye, for suggesting this practice together. Thank you, Faye's idea. Very good. Thank you, Geshe.
Thank you, Geshe. Thank you, Ken. Thank you, Faye. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Faye.
Thank you, everyone.